My name is Fredrik Harrysson. I'm a core developer at Parity. Roughly, Parity is three parts, sort of an enterprise partnership part, the core, and one team that works on Polkadot. To me, the ultimate scaling is sharding. Like the true solution is sharding with cross-shard communication, and we're years away from that. So we need like various stepping stones on the way to be able to deal with the scale that we have and that we need for applications. So things like Plasma and state channels and Parity Bridge and other things like we'll have to take steps in between. If you imagine sharding as starting up 100 different Ethereum networks, but they're all using the same security pool, it's relatively easy to have one application on one shard and just being able to run that application within that shard and have all the users on that shard. But as soon as that application needs to do anything that interacts with the mainnet or any other shard, that's where things get really complicated. You want security guarantees on certain properties. You might want a synchronous or an asynchronous model, and all of those questions are like unsolved. Most excited about EDCON. I was really excited for John's talk, and he's now had it. I think it's a phenomenal talk. So his talk is sort of around how you build an ecosystem, how you incentivize building things instead of just holding a token. And it's a very tough question that I'm very glad that he's sort of brought it to the forefront of, like, if people build things and do things that will increase the value, like because there's, as he puts it, a real economy. There's some utility that a new app brings to the scene. So how do we incentivize people actually building things? Like ICOs is not a perfect model. We've seen that where people raise a bunch of money and then they actually don't have any incentive to do anything. He proposed like some sort of structure where you take inflation and pay people out, but then you run into the inevitable governance problem of how do you decide who gets what from this inflation. I see the crypto landscape developing over the next 5 years into a variety of directions. I don't think, I'm not a believer in like the one chains rule them all concept. Like there will be a million projects and they'll all be successful. I'd say like zero knowledge proofs, Zcash, and the whole ecosystem that is developing around that is super exciting to me. I love all of that stuff. It's like actually applied cryptography, whereas the rest of cryptocurrency is barely cryptography. It's hashing, really. So I think Zcash and everything that they're doing is awesome. They're actually like bringing cool new cryptography to this space.